So hi and welcome to the Data Explorers Market Update. I'm Will Duff-Gordon. Thank you once again to our sponsors, BNY Mellon. And let's go straight into it today and talk about the directories business. We're going to talk about Yellow Pages, Pages Jaunnes, which means yellow pages in French, and Yellow Media, because whenever we look at any screen for heavily shorted stocks, time and again we find Yell in there, which owns the Yellow Pages. And clearly it is an international thing whereby this business model is challenged whether you are in Canada, North America, England or France. Selling physical directories is going to be difficult, and therefore plenty of short sellers are looking to profit from a gradual change to using Google and Groupon and Bing to find what you're looking for locally, and taking that horribly big yellow thing that comes through your door and chucking it straight into the recycling sack. So twist to the story though is that the institutional investors are not necessarily running for the hills, and we see a big advertising campaign coming out from Yell in the UK. So clearly they are changing their business models to become more sort of digital media businesses, digital directory businesses. First of all, let's look at the detail of the UK's Yell. So short interest has gone from 8 to 19%. It is the second most shorted stock in the FTSE, and the share price has been falling enormously. And maybe the institutional investors who are left are just the index tracking funds who have to own Yell unless it leaves the FTSE 250. So it will be interesting if there is an index rebalancing, whether the shorts will be able to remain short there. If we look at Pages Jaunnes in France, they do claim to have fully migrated their business to becoming a digital media business away from a print directories and listings and classifications business. However, some of the institutional investors don't agree. They've reduced their holdings by a fifth, and the short sellers have increased from 5% to nearly 12% of their shares. So kind of negative sentiment whichever way you look at Pages Jaunnes, despite their protestations to being a very digital business. I think only 20% of their revenue still comes from that. Finally, we look at Yellow Media, a Canadian listed company. They haven't been in a public company for that long, but since November, the short selling has reached 13% from sort of when they floated, it immediately increased and has gone up as high as 13%. And the shares have been relatively flat, but has fallen a bit recently. Again, they are telling their analysts and their shareholders that they are successfully transitioning into the new media age, but plenty of short sellers are not quite so convinced. That is the end of it. I'm wearing a tie today. It's been the Bank of England and ISLA meetings, of which more later. If you'd like to read the report, it is at dataexplorers.com/news.